is going on. Without further ado, don't forget, Garry Cobb will join us at 4:30 as well. We bring in our friend, Big Z. Zander Krause joins us now. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing over there?
The team that never fails to deliver. How you doing?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's quite a bit of action going on, Sills, in Philadelphia. Tell you what, though, man, feels like they could go either way here. Like, it's going to be hard and I said this last week, but it's going to be hard to be super optimistic that they're a Super Bowl team if Goedert goes and AJ goes, Jaelan Phillips walks, and you're looking at a bunch of draft picks to replace him. Now, maybe Howie makes some splashes. Maybe he brings in a good tight end. Maybe he makes a trade for a Michael Mayer or somebody like that. Maybe he trades for Max Crosby. I mean, you can flip it on its head. You can still be positive about it, or there are still things you can do. But boy, if all those guys go and the replacement plan is rookies, oh man, that's going to be tough, man. That is going to be tough.
Rookies and Timu. Right now they're 13-6 in cap space.
Yeah,
not a lot of. They could redo deals.
Yeah, they can create more. I mean, you got the question earlier. How is Dallas signing people? They're $40 million. You know how it is. I mean,
$20 million.
Yeah, you can restructure, and John points this out all the time. I think people don't understand this. Most NFL contracts that are signed today, teams can restructure them without even needing to call the player. Like, they don't need to get approval. They're getting the same money. It doesn't change anything.
They'll add voids.
Right. So they can add the voids. They can do the restructure. So, I'm not worried about that part. But look, Howie said that the priority is re-signing their guys. So if Goedert's going to go, now that's what it's been reported today, or that's what Matthew Berry put out in his column. I don't know if he's right or if he's not right, but I have no reason to believe he's a liar. I think he's a pretty credible guy. I mean, from what I know about Matthew Berry. So We'll see, man. Goedert going, though, is
a what? On a scale of 1 to 10, if Goedert does leave, what is that? And by the way, also two things. What's the impact on the offense? And also, is that an indictment on where they're going offensively that a veteran guy doesn't want to be here?
Well, I actually don't think him not wanting to be here has anything to do with the offense. I mean,
so he's not part of it?
Well, I just think he's pissed off they gave him a fat pay cut.
Okay.
Remember, he had a career.
Hey.
He had a career year in touchdowns. Like, he's not A.J. Brown crying about the offense. Now maybe he doesn't love it, but I don't think that's his problem. I think the problem is that.
But I want you to look me in the face here, and I'm going to tell you something, and you and I will understand this. It's one thing to take a pay cut. It's another thing for that company to make sure that they want you, to make sure that we're moving in the same direction, that I'm bringing you in so that we can win together and do this. Zander, I mean, if you really want Goedert, you don't let him walk out the building.
Yeah, but if that player is no longer prioritizing the same goals of the organization, I mean, you shed light on this all the time. Organizational goals are not the same as individual goals.
No way.
I mean, that's not how players don't go into Canton based on team accolades.
No.
Players get contracts, players extend their careers, players get remembered, players go down in history for their individual feats. So if Dallas Goedert, I don't think he cares about that at this point. I mean, he got a ring. He's got 2 of them. Doesn't he? Yep. Wasn't he here in 17? Or no, he came after.
No, he wasn't here.
He came after.
Yeah.
But so, I don't think he cares about that, dude. I think he wants to get paid. I think he wants to get paid.
And if he can get paid and get big targets in Kansas City, wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. You think that's where it would be? I
think Kansas City right now, when you look at their number right now, the Kansas City Chiefs right now, where they are in cap space, I mean, they're $5 million over the salary cap. So I'm not sure that that's a place where that he would end up landing, but I'll tell you a place that he could go. How about him in Los Angeles at the Chargers with Justin Herbert and Mike McDaniel, and because they got a shitload of money. They got $90 million in cap space.
Well, we're about to find out how good Dallas Goedert is. Now, he's older, but I used to say I thought Goedert was overrated by Eagle fans, but underrated if he was in a different system type of thing. But we're going to find out. I mean, you can make an argument he's, kind of been limited his whole career in terms of really being able to catapult but he's been injured so much. So it's hard to even say that, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I think with all this potential change, Sills, like I'm not a doomer. I'm not a doom and gloom kind of guy in general. I mean, I generally think maybe more negatively than the optimistic people in the world, but I'm not a doomer. It's reasonable to say if the Eagles don't make the right moves this offseason, they could go from worst to first or best to last in the NFC East. Now, I don't think that's actually going to happen because I don't think the Commanders are ready to contend. I don't think the Giants are ready for that yet either. I think what's more likely is you lose stranglehold as the first place in the East. But dude, you can't just get rid of all these good players and expect them to replace them with draft picks or Temu guys.
That's why I keep bringing them up. You go from Milton Williams, you go to Josh Sweat, you go to now potentially Dallas Goedert, you go to potentially to A.J. Brown, you go to Nakobe Dean, you may lose Jaelan Phillips. I mean, bro, what the fuck are we talking about here? You're losing quality Pro Bowl guys.
Yeah.
And to think that you're going to win 10, 12, 11 games with a JV team, that's not going to happen here, man. I mean, all right. So let's get to the John McMullen favorite topic, A.J. Brown.
I am sick of that topic too, man. But you love it. You love this topic.
Oh my God, it's the biggest topic in the National Football League.
It is. Now. Everywhere I go, literally everywhere I look, it's A.J. Brown.
Okay. So the Zander Krause. Here we go. Look at this. The Zander Krause meter is, as of March 2nd, where?
You remember the one time I said the meter had me at 80-20, he was staying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like, I don't know if there was a glitch in the radar that day or something was all wrong with the code or something.
What is the Iraqi defense? That's how
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back at this point. I mean, I don't know. I'm hearing some things. I saw one of the Eagle YouTubers put out that they talked to an old player who said AJ wanted to be traded even right after the Super Bowl. I saw that. So I don't know. I mean, dude, if this guy really doesn't want to be here, what are you going to do? Sit here and fucking, placate to him over and over again? He's crying, he's whining, he's bitching, he's moaning. I don't know, man. If he wants to go, then just get him out of here. But here's, again, the big problem is, dude, Howie's going to lose the trade. Howie doesn't like losing trades.
Yeah, but for the betterment of your team? In the sanctity of your team?
Wait a second. This is where you contradict yourself.
Okay.
You say for the betterment of the team, yet last week you predicted what? 7 wins? 8 wins?
7.
7. Because of AJ leaving. So how do you go to 7 wins and then say that's for the betterment of the team?
Because you're going to have to take a step back to move forward. I've been saying that the whole offseason. You guys are under this guys that you're just going to hang in there with 11, 12 wins, losing all these guys. You're fucking drunk. That ain't happening. You're taking a step back this year, dude. Look at the way you're behaving as an organization. You're losing Goddard, reportedly. You may lose Jaelan Phillips and a 3. You may lose this guy, A.J. Brown. How about this one, too? I heard what you said this morning, and I thought it was really interesting. Hey, A.J., you're under contract, but you can't let the inmates run the asylum. Well, here, this is what the opposite of that is. Okay, so I'm going to keep a guy on a team only because of the money, and the guy fucking hates me, and I hate him. And then you're going to wait a second, and you're going to wait till the trading deadline to have all of that bullshit going on in your team. Your team's going to be already in the chaos. And so you've already made this thing ugly. Well, here, let me ask you this. So would you stick with a chick if you hated her filthy guts?
No.
And you would sit there and hang with her. Well, I didn't even finish. And you would hang with her because you were worried about finances and shit. Would you hang with that chick, or would you be living in a shed somewhere or in a teepee somewhere because you didn't have to see her face anymore?
if only this was actual locker room talk, we would have a much different response to that question than no, seriously. I don't make me go down that road. I mean,
you know that you're not living with somebody you don't want to play with.
But you went the finance route. I don't know if that's what it's all about, but I get your point. All right, point understood. No, I wouldn't sit there and wait around on it. But I mean, if you want to use your analogy, I mean, if you got a rocket under your arm and you're a geezer, are you going to put up with the annoying quips? Because I don't know. I'm not a geezer and I don't have that problem. So okay. I wonder though if that's realistic.
Well, I'll tell you, you want to know
the Eagles receiving core without AJ Brown is not so good.
No. But can you go through another year dealing with this guy's bullshit?
Yeah, dude. What do you mean?
Okay. So I'm probably thinking he's going to be more engaged this year and not like less distracted like he was in the 49er playoff game. I'm sure he'll be thinking about catching passes, and I'm sure everything will be all good.
Well, let me ask you this. You brought up 24, the book. Well, they won the Super Bowl that year.
Was that guy miserable after he won it on the parade route?
He was miserable in the year we won it.
Okay.
I'm sensing a common denominator here. A.J. Brown has 1,500 yards. The guy's miserable. A.J. Brown wins the Super Bowl. The guy's miserable. A.J. Brown gets 1,000 yards. The guy's miserable.
He's bipolar.
He's fucking miserable.
He's bipolar.
Don't placate to it anymore. He's a miserable dude. And remember, I'm not chirping him for that because most people who want to be great are miserable. It's a miserable life. It's truth. You know that. I mean, ask Tom Brady.
I do.
Guy talks about it all the time. It's miserable. Ask Tiger Woods. He tells the story. I'm walking out to practice after a round of golf at the Masters, wherever he was. There's John Daly in the bar drinking 8 beers. I had to go and work 18 hours a day to be the best. John Daly, if he would put in my work ethic, he'd have been the best easily. He was way better than me. John Daly lived a nice, relaxing life, but he wasn't the best. Tiger wanted to be the best, so he had to work 18 hours a day. It was a miserable life, but it was a big reward.
So John Daly, at the end of the day, had a better life than Tiger's had.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I don't know.
Right.
I'm taking the greatness. I'd rather struggle and go for the greatness. But
okay, so I want to do another analogy for you here. Ready? So I'm going to paint a house up for Zander Krause. Going to bring all the greatest technicians in. I'm going to build him a auditorium where he can watch his favorite sports, do his shows from. He's going to have a 10-car garage, and there's going to be nothing in there but Bugattis and Ferraris. His bedroom's going to be like 1,800 square feet. Everything. There's going to be an indoor pool. I bring everybody Italian marble. I do everything. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is something here, man. I really love the company that I work for. Look at what they've done for me. Here's A.J. Brown and what they've done to his new house. They brought in some sort of dude that's been kind of a contractor to build his house. They got another guy who's never built a bedroom. They got another guy who doesn't even know how to put a pool in, but he's going to put the pool in anyway. And I'm living in this house going, you're really trying to convince me that you've done enough to make me want to live in this house? You've done enough for me to want to convince to stay here? Do you think the Eagles have done enough in the offseason?
Analogy.
Hold on. Do you think the Eagles have done enough for the A.J. Brown to go, wow, that's really changed. I really want to stay here.
Is 32 large not enough?
No, because you can get it anywhere. No. Stop with the money. Don't get 32 anywhere.
Anywhere.
Oh. Tell you what, he goes to a high-volume passing attack, and you see those 100-yard reception years and 1,400 yards, he'll get another bag of money.
How many years does AJ have left?
Okay, well, let's figure that out. Let's do this. Did Devontae Smith to make $20 million a year after the age of 32? I mean, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams is a much better player than A.J. Brown. Devontae Adams is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay. Well, Stephon Diggs just got $24 million a year.
Did he really?
Yeah. Look at his number. $83 million over 3. Here, let me double check that.
They're gonna cut him.
Let me see what Stephon Diggs signed with New England.
You're right. 3 years, 69, but 20 million.
20 million a year. And what do you think AJ's better than that guy?
Well, I mean, that's about a 50% less. So, I mean,
well,
40% less.
That's my point. You think he's not going to get 28 million or somewhere up in that number?
He will, but I just don't think. I don't think the analogy is good because it's.
So I'll get the best looking chick I can find, and I'm going to get my numbers at the top of it. Versus, give me my money, and I'm going to be stuck with the ugly chick, the quarterback again. Hurts is the ugly chick.
Trade-offs, Stills. There's trade-offs.
We're compromising. Okay.
Well, isn't that part of life?
Well, tell me this. In the last 2 years, do you think A.J. Brown's been happy?
No, he's a miserable fuck.
Okay. You think he was happy prior to Saquon Barkley showing up? Getting all them targets, all them catches, all that money.
I don't know. Wasn't he bitching then, too?
No, only when the quarterback wasn't throwing on time to him.
So he's going to bitch no matter what.
So you think he's going to bitch if he goes to the Chargers and he plays there with Justin Herbert? They don't have a 1. And they got 90 million.
I just don't think AJ's a happy dude, which is okay.
I'll tell you what can make
I'm not a happy guy. There's nothing about me that's I don't radiate happiness, nor do I look for happiness. I don't seek to be happy. I don't think AJ does either. I mean, I don't think he's happy. I mean, I don't think that's a good word for it. Fuck cares if he's happy or not.
So you're going to keep
lose a trade just to placate him. Now, if he's going to blow the team up, I guess you got to do it, which is where he might be able to hold you hostage. But I just have a hard time.
We had a former employee here that we hated, and we didn't want him to be here with us anymore. I'm not going to name names. And, he was a miserable human being. You like working with people like that? Showing up to work and working with somebody like that?
Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Okay. Well, how do you think that all that's a bad one. I'm gonna get out of that one. I'm gonna go here. I just don't think he's happy in that room, man, with those guys.
Dude, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it matters.
Why are you putting so much stock in his happiness?
Because I need to have you rowing in the same boat with me, man, in the same direction with me.
That to me is a good point because it is a team game. It's a team game. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport, and that makes sense to me.
How are you trying to put a new offense in if you got one guy fighting it?
How do you know he's fighting it?
Oh, I would think that his agent even coming out, and now you have everyone going, hey, we're testing the waters now. And
this dude Sileo has got me fucking swinging for the fences right now. I don't know what to say, dude. If AJ really wants out this bad, then get rid of his ass. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. All I'm saying is this. You got to be careful doing it. You got to. If you're not careful doing it, because we didn't start winning until he showed up at this level. All right. He was when that trade happened, that the year after that was when the Eagles started this historic run.
So it wasn't hurt.
He's the only reason. I'm just saying he's a part of it. So if you're going to remove him, is the team built enough to be able to manage not having him? Remember, you bring up the quarterback all the time. Well, now the quarterback's going to have one less, big target to throw to. How does that affect him? How does that affect the Sean Mannion new offense? How does it affect Sirianni? How does it affect the defense? All of these things have to go into the equation. I mean, I don't think it's okay. Get rid of it. It's not Jahan Dotson we're talking about here.
Okay, fair enough. So who do you think has been more responsible for the success of the Eagles, Hurts or AJ Brown, in this last 4 years?
Hurts or AJ Brown? I think Hurts.
Hurts.
I think you would agree with that. Come on, man. It's football. Quarterbacks matter more than wideouts.
The quarterback has dealt with what the offense, and he has been able to play in an offense without surrendering and turning the football over. But if I had to put the top guy, if I were going to rank your success, I would look at the offensive line as being the number one success. Then it would be the quarterback. Then it would be Barkley and all of these pieces. Now, do you agree with this, Zander? An engine has multiple parts to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
For the engine to work. Isn't AJ the spark plugs?
I don't know about that.
So what do you think he is, the windshield wipers?
First off, the windshield wipers aren't a part of an engine.
Okay. What do you think? He's the water jug?
Oh, man, that is so hilarious.
Who the fuck do you think he is in this engine here?
The windshield wipers. Oh, man. No, I think he's actually, every engine comes with a gas tank. Normally the cars have a 14-gallon tank. Maybe AJ made it a 24-gallon tank so you can load that bitch up and go a little further. How's that?
Well, so you think the engine of your whole
fuel injection is good, Pieters. If you really want to go engine, you got to go fuel injection. But I'm going gas tank because I think he makes it bigger. I think he gives you a better
so
chance.
Then the engine is so the engine's a normal engine without AJ.
I just drove from Tennessee. I drove a little GMC Canyon. It's a little tiny little truck. My brother drove an F-150. He drove 600 miles before he needed to stop for gas. I could drive 380 before I needed to stop for gas. AJ represents the bigger tank. He can go further. You can go further with AJ Brown, but he's not the damn engine.
So AJ makes the fuel in the car more potent. He's the guy that makes that bitch special. Is that fair?
The broken timing belt. Oh my god!
The broken timing belts hurts.
Yeah, we got to check our check engine lights on right now. We got a whole lot of shit going on.
Oh my god, you got everything. Check engine. You got fucking like air quality is down. You need a filter.
I'm just wondering.
Windshield fluids down.
I'm wondering this though. People who listen to your show consistently either agree with you or disagree with you, but they have a take on the quarterback because of you. Okay. How is the quarterback going to fare without AJ Brown? You say the quarterback's a stiff when it comes to passing the football. Well, what's your plan for the quarterback? You're going to get rid of AJ Brown and what? Get better? I mean, by the way, people don't take this as a knock on Hurts, because if you take Jamar Chase away from Joe Burrow, I got news. Joe Burrow's not going to be as good.
How come when I saw Stephon Diggs leave Buffalo and I saw Tyreek Hill leave those places, those quarterbacks were better? They were better.
Yeah, that's few and far between, dude.
Okay. That's not
you
terrible.
Mahomes. I mean, what does Josh Allen need right now?
What?
What does Josh Allen need right now?
He needs more weapons.
Even though he had the number one running back in football, top 5 offensive line in football, great defense, top 10 defense in football. I mean, you talk about that team like they're one of the biggest scrubs in the league.
Okay, so he has Saquon Barkley, and then who? Keon fucking what?
He's got a good offensive line.
Okay, he's got a good old line and no one to throw to.
And multiple good tight ends.
My God, really? We're going Dalton fucking Kincaid and Dalton Kincaid?
Who's better, Dallas Goedert or Dalton Kincaid?
Push. Okay. So he's got a half of a tight end and a great back. There you go. and a bunch of stiffs at wideout. No, you know what he has? He has a bunch of Johnny Wilsons.
No, he
doesn't. Wide receiver.
No, he doesn't, man.
Hey, do you believe Howie Roseman right now is fielding phone calls to trade this guy?
Yes, 100%.
What would be your asking price?
I like what they're asking for, a 1 and a 2. I know they're not going to get that, but did you see the report that came out that they're calling the Eagles unserious? Guess what? This is like poker. Who blinks first?
It'll be a team blink first.
Oh yeah, another team is going to blink before Howie Roseman. That I know, so I'm not worried about it. If we do trade AJ, it will be for a better return than people think. And this certainly a better return than Sills thinks. Sills thought we were getting a 3 a couple months ago.
1 and a 3.
No, you said a 3.
No, because then I thought about the money and the 30 some odd million that they're going to have to take on.
You said a 3. That's it.
I don't really. You think he's a 1? You just got through telling me you think he's the.
I originally thought he was a conditional too.
Would you send him back to Tennessee? They got the money for Cam Ward.
Go fucking back to Tennessee. I don't give a shit where I send him. I want the best return.
How about the Raiders?
If
they got $90 million.
If they get the best, what first round pick are they giving? They're not giving 1 overall, obviously.
They would give a 27 one, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's true. We've talked about this. It probably has to be a 27 pick in general.
Yeah.
Because they'll have to defer it to post June 1. I would look for the best trade package. I don't think every team's going to be as interested in AJ as people think. Though. I mean, some teams will be interested in him, but if you're a team that's not at the Mendoza line of being able to compete for a Super Bowl, why are you trading for a 29-year-old, $32 million wide receiver? Makes no sense.
Can you imagine A.J. Brown on the other side of DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh?
I'm not real infatuated with DK Metcalf. I don't think he's that good.
But he could be a decent 2 next to A.J. Brown being the 1.
Well, I don't think they paid him $32 million to be a 2.
How about the 49ers and A.J. Brown?
It's funny you said them because I thought about them. I don't think the Eagles would send him to them.
Mike Brown's talking to them too.
I think the Eagles, contrary to many of our listeners who just for some reason think the 49ers are like a shitty organization. They're not.
They're going to be a really good team this year.
They're a good organization. I think the Eagles know that, and I don't think they're going to send them a good player. I just don't.
If you got something decent back in return?
If you can get something decent back from them, can't you get it from somebody else? Now, if they're gonna go over the top, then yeah, I'll do it. I'm just saying I don't think that would be the Eagles first. I mean, they definitely wouldn't want to send him to San Francisco.
See, that would be my selling point to AJ would be this if I was Philly. Hey, listen, man. Okay, listen. I know you're 50-50 on potentially wanting to be dealt, but if we deal you, we're talking about Titans, Raiders, Jets.
I'm talking about AFC teams.
AFC teams would be Jets, Chargers, Bengals, Patriots, Colts, the Broncos, the Ravens. Those would be your teams because those are the team right now that have cap space today with the cap being put officially today at 3012. How about that too, Zander? 2021, the cap was 198.2. Now it's 3012.
It's crazy, man.
Shit, in the next 3-4 years, this thing's going to be $450 million.
Is this a Jenga though? Is this thing gonna fall down if one TV deal goes sour?
Never.
No, right? It's too good.
Plus, there's gambling.
Yeah, that's right.
There's too much
gambling and fantasy changed everything.
Bro, you're gonna see a $75 million a year quarterback one day.
One day?
Yeah.
Dude, how many years ago did we pay Carson Wentz? Like 6?
Was it that?
No. Yeah, it was like 8 years ago. I think we paid him in 2018.
What'd you pay him? 31?
32.
32.
Jalen Hurts makes 52. So I think it's probably 3 years.
Your receiver makes more than him now.
Yeah. Our receivers at the time were making what? $500,000 for Travis Fulgham?
I'm like,
yo, think about how wrong. And I'm not here to play this history. And I'm not even the biggest Wentz guy. I mean, I thought he was solid, but I never really loved him like some people did. They did not do him any favors in terms of extending his career. I mean, imagine if he had I'm echoing. Imagine if he had Jalen's rock.
I think you bring a great point up in the fact that maybe that's what the organization had an epiphany on, that they didn't do enough to give and put enough people around him to help him, that what they're doing for Jalen Hurts by making sure that the talent is stacked around him. But then guess what, Zant? You don't really have a big window for that because you know what's really, really clouding the judgment now? Every single year, you guys always turn the defense over. You know what the problem now with the Philadelphia Eagles are? You're making tough decisions offensively because you can't turn the roster over like you used to defensively and let guys go and let guys. You've never really had a person where you gave multiple contracts to outside of Fletcher and then who?
Brandon.
Fletcher and Brandon. Name me another guy you gave multiple contracts to in the last 10 years. They've been all one contract. They've been like 3 years and gone. 3 years and gone. You didn't even want to sign TJ Edwards. You need to develop the goddamn guy.
It's true.
No, but that became a process for you dudes. But now here's the problem. Now you've got this. Now you've got Lane is an offensive guy, dude. What I'm saying is now you got tougher decisions to do this. We got Jalen Carter. Hey, by the way, we're 11 days off on that. What's up with these contracts with Carter and Davis?
Well, apparently they can come at any time.
So what's the number one? So AJ's the number one priority right now.
I think Phillips is.
Phillips is. Funny, I got that here.
AJ's under contract, and so are Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Now, I think there's a realistic world that we got to live.
Three priorities. Give me your three priorities right now that Howie has here on March 2nd, heading into, what are we now? Looking at 8 days away? No, 9 days away.
So they've established that they want Jaelan Phillips in terms of the importance. I mean, you can tell by the way John talks about him. He's got inside information that they want Jaelan Phillips, but there is a walkaway number. I like Jaelan Phillips. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I'm not like over the moon on him. Like I would have felt better about paying Milton Williams 28 than I am about him about 25 or 26. But they're probably going to end up having to do that. I'd probably take the gamble on Carter. I know it's a big gamble.
I would too.
I'd probably do it because I don't want that thing to balloon too much. And even like you're going to pay him. You're going to pay him next year. Like mark my words, Jalen Carter.
What?
That's the question. If you pay him now, it's probably 30 to 32. If you wait till next year and he goes out and has a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro season, guess what? It's going to be 40.
If he goes out and he helps the team win a Super Bowl, I'd be more than glad to pay that. Yeah,
but it also, you got to build a team, Sil. So, if you can pay him now, you get ahead of that. I think the only real concern there that makes sense is it concerning that him and Jordan Davis took to a contract year to get their asses in shape?
No doubt.
So, but I'd probably pay Carter because I think that thing's going to balloon. I mean, and you don't want him leaving. So
I ain't paying Phillips $22 million, bro.
Huh?
I ain't paying Phillips $22 million.
22? That's light.
No way. No way.
I'm with Deshae. I want to pay Davis, but John thinks Davis is going to be $15 million a year. That to me seems so low.
I'm biting that deal.
Oh, I'm biting two of those deals. Are you kidding me? I'll sign you for 6 years at $15 million a pop. I mean, that's nothing.
Shit, you're talking what? You're talking $45 million over 3 years? Yeah. Shit, I'm in. You want to do that?
That's what I mean. Give him the old Fletcher Cox deal. Fletcher Cox was what, 6 years? I think he was like 6 years, $98 million at the time. That was a lot for Fletcher.
Shit, I'll tell you what. That's a great call. What you just said. You want to do $15 million, son? I'll give you 5 years. I'll stick with that deal because by the time his deal comes to maturity, those D tackles will be making $25 million a pop. You got yourself a Devontae Smith deal.
Yeah, but it's all about the guarantee there. I mean, if they're going to give him 5 years.
Yeah, you'd give more up front.
Yeah, you got to give him more guarantee. So we'll see. I mean, and then AJ, I mean, I'm having a hard time thinking that we're going to be a team competing for a Super Bowl. If Goddard's gone, AJ's gone, Jaelan Phillips is gone. I mean, what are we rolling out here? Bunch of draft picks?
So when you bring in a whole bunch of new people into a company and you fired everybody, you bring in a whole new crew in, are you expecting instant success? That you're just going to carry on what you've been doing? Well, that's what you've done in your offense, isn't it? You've revamped the entire offense.
Well, and you're trying to make it worse by getting rid of AJ.
Not me. AJ wants out.
That's true. But you want to listen to him.
You're damn right, because I don't want a malcontent on my team.
That's fair. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if he would be or not.
I got a guy that's bitching about the quarterback not throwing on time. My numbers are down because they want to run the football. John says, by the way, we'll get to your supers in a minute. By the way, John says that, they want to do more priority in the run game. Well, fuck, that doesn't make me sound like, if I'm hearing, like, every time I listen to Birds 365, if I'm AJ Brown, I hear John do this. Hey, I want to get the run game going. I'm like, hey, Tori, hey, Paxton, get my agent on the line here. I'm out of here.
So do you think we're I don't even think you believe this. Do you think we're like at this point, rebuild's coming? Now, remember, they rebuilt quick in 2020.
Well, but here's the difference. Okay. How many of those players did you have in the offensive line in 2020 that are here on the team now?
Well, remember, 2020, they won 4 games, and the offensive line was destroyed all year.
O-line, you had Mulata, you had Lane. Was Landon there in 2020?
No.
Nope. He got there in 19, right? Or 2021. 21. So you had your bookend tackles then. I asked you a question all last week. You told me in the next 3 years, you guys are going to be rebuilding at least 4 of the 5 offensive linemen.
Well,
how's that not a rebuild?
It's a retool.
Retool.
It's a retool. If you have a a set of tools, which I know you don't, so I don't think you don't replace the whole kit if you're screwed. If you got a screwdriver, you just go and pick up a new screwdriver.
No, Sills don't hold screwdrivers.
You don't throw out the entire set of tools. You just grab a new screwdriver.
Sure. Hey, Bob, my old lady knows more about fucking tools than I do. That's for damn sure. She's got the tool. Actually has a toolbox. Screwdriver in my hand. What are you, fucking crazy? That ain't happening.
Is that hard to turn a screwdriver?
I don't care. I don't want to. I have no interest in that.
What do you mean you don't want to? You haven't had moments in your life where you needed to fix something in your home and you couldn't do it?
Yeah, it looks like I had the patience to sit there and make a chair, right? My wife made this.
Jeez, dude. Holy shit, you're talking about this like I'm curing cancer.
I don't pick up tools, dude.
Oh my God. Sills.
Dude. Hey, I got enough with these tacks that I have to put a stupid green thing up every weekend. I mean, you should see my shit.
Gosh.
Hey, it's a trend. Hey, you know what? Look, you see this camera, guys? I showed Zander this camera, and he went like this. No, we're not going there. This thing's like
with the built-in webcam on the computer.
Zander's like, we're not going anywhere near that.
The built-in webcam is perfect for Sileo.
It is, absolutely. Max Crosby, would you give up number 23 for him?
No.
Why?
Well, I guess if you let Phillips walk, it's not a bad use of capital, considering, he's 28 or 29. But how well do you think he fits Vic Fangio's D?
He's an effort guy. He's an effort guy.
He's a sack artist, though, isn't he?
I think he's overrated.
I think he's overrated, but I don't think he's a bad player.
No.
People hear that word and think, I don't think he's bad. I just think people get a little enamored.
Let me define why I said he's overrated. I don't think the money matches the production. $35 million for 7 sacks? I don't know. I saw Milton Williams do it for $17 million. I mean, right? I saw how many sacks last year did Jaelan have? 6.5?
Yeah. 6.
So he had 6.5 sacks, and he's on a rookie deal. You want me to pay $35 million for a guy with 2.5 sacks more? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I'm not really that sold on that. But
I'd rather spread that money out.
I'll tell you what, it's better than if Phillips walks. It's better than relying on a rookie.
I do hate the fact that if you do lose him, you lose the player, you lose the production in the 3.
Yeah,
That's
I don't think
quite an
Howie's
L.
about the 3.
Dude, all of it, though. Look at all of it. Like, you let all of that go. Production, the 3. I mean, it's a combination of it.
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay, let's go
I don't
here.
know, that's a rich contract for him. If they're getting what they want, what he wants, that's a big contract, man.
Rosenhaus
25 million.
wants 25 million.
Now again, I'm not overly entrenched in the sack department either, but what do you have? 2 sacks when he got here? 1 sack?
Yeah.
I mean, 30 million? 25 million?
Let me get this. I'm gonna
I
show
don't
you.
know, man.
I got something here for you here. I got an email from Robert Bailey from Rosenhaus's folks.
Lions just released Graham Glasgow. Wow, they're purging. They traded
Steve Montgomery. See Montgomery sign.
Yeah.
If I'm Joe Mixon, who just signed that contract, I hope I didn't buy a house down there.
Where, in Houston?
Yeah.
He probably didn't buy a house. He should know that by now. He was started in Cincinnati.
Probably needs to go back there.
What a shit show. AJ should count as lucky stars. That's where I trade him. Go ahead. Trade him to Cincinnati. Mike Brown will cut his ass in a year. Won't give a shit about him.
AJ should count as lucky stars.
Yeah, he should.
Listen how you're talking. You here.
So you talking? This team's the most successful team in football in the last 4 years.
Let me help you out how a player would think how you're talking like that. If a player heard that, you know what he would do? I'd show up in my meetings and I'd be the biggest asshole I could be possible.
Spoken like a player.
Right.
Players don't get to dictate everything.
Fantastic. No, really? Well, I'll show you on Sundays, my friend.
so you're gonna cry like a petulant child, and you're
I'm gonna let everyone
like
know.
the kid who shows up to class and
I'm gonna let.
Well, Xander didn't do his homework. It's like,
wait a second. Isn't that how receivers act?
I guess so. But now you want to placate and build everything around.
No, I'm telling you how.
I would let him sit over there and cry. It's like I was with my niece and nephew this weekend. You know, my niece is crying and crying and crying. She wanted another lollipop. Cry. Don't give in. The minute you start giving in, they start crying more. I don't even hear it. It goes in one ear and out the other.
And you know what I start doing? I start writing cryptic notes on my social media that day. When in doubt.
AJ, I think AJ secretly loves you because he knows that if you exist in Philly, that it will never fall on deaf ears.
Ever.
He'll always be able to get a reaction.
I am a Pied Piper for AJ Brown.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You really are. It's a funny way to look at it, but it's kind of the truth.
Because all he'd be doing is, how about this? So this is what you would have this year. This is what I'll tell you what I foresee happening. You're keeping him. All of a sudden in the first game, there's about 7 targets. After the game, you know what I hear? What happened to that new offense? Jeez, I saw an offense at Lehigh that had more targets to their wideouts.
Oh, gosh.
Then the next week, you guys are playing the Rams. He gets a couple targets, all quiet on the Western Front. Week 3, playing the Bears. All of a sudden, it's a run game. He doesn't see any targets, and you can hear this. Why am I here? And you just start putting these little cryptic messages, and then by the end, guess what you have?
I have the off-season plan.
Oh, it's 3rd down? Wake me up when you need me. That's what you want in your team?
If I was Howie, I would sign Goedert. I would draft a tackle in round 1. I would convert AJ's thing to a signing bonus. So you can give him his money and maybe lessen if you did need to trade him in the season or whatever. Try and restructure the deal so it's a little bit more favorable for the team to do it. Give him more cash up front for the year because he's getting that cash anyway. It doesn't change anything. Re-sign Goedert, as I mentioned.
That's your
Phillips,
dude.
I give him probably up to 22, but I don't know about that one. I don't know how to fix that. I'd resign to Kobe, but they're not going to do that. And I think he'd be off and running, ready to roll for next year.
All right.
I'd also draft a running back in probably round 4 or 5.
Okay, so let me ask you this. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jaelan Phillips, Nakobe Dean. Probability of A.J. coming back, number-wise?
I
40%?
think
30%?
I think 50 is right at the number, right at the mark.
50%. Dallas Goedert coming back.
Well, after today, I thought it was. I was starting to get optimistic about
Me
that.
too.
Yeah, based on the reports that were coming out. But now Matthew Berry drops a haymaker, and he says he is as good as gone. So we'll see. I think it's about 50-50 there as well.
50-50. Jaelan Phillips. What do you think percentage-wise?
I think based on what Howie said and the way he wants to prioritize in-house guys, I think they're going to try and get that deal done. But if that thing gets over $25 million, dude, I mean, come on. I'm not going to criticize him for letting him walk.
So give me a number.
I gave it 3 years, $66 million.
No. 50%, 40%?
Oh, for that he's back?
Yeah.
60.
60.
I think there's a little better chance for him.
Nakobe Dean, what do you think he's back?
10.
Okay. So here's your decisions that you're making this offseason. 50-50 AJ's back. It's 50-50 Goddard's back. Hey, it's 60%. I don't know, maybe a little bit better. That's
the NFL offseason.
And by the way, there's a 90% chance that the Kobe's gone. Whew. Boy, you got it going on.
That's the NFL offseason. I mean, that's how it goes.
That doesn't go on in Philly every offseason like that.
Well, there's different guys available in free agency every year. I mean, what are you talking about?
Oh. Okay, so who's replacing AJ if he leaves?
I mean, apparently they're really high on Devon. You can always tell, like, wait. You can always tell when there's a coordinated effort, though, right? John said it this morning about the Eagles feel really strongly about Devontae Smith. Then I go on X and I see Zach Berman tweeted out the same, very similar thing. Then I saw a national guy say the Eagles have a great belief that Devontae Smith is capable of a lot more with more targets.
Folks, talking points.
Exactly right. They're sending out, and maybe that's them forging or framing the narrative that, Devontae is a true number one, and they don't have to replace a number one. They have to get a number two. So it lessens the burden for them publicly, which is what I think they're doing. I don't happen to agree with it. I think you need a number one caliber wide receiver to replace AJ. And I don't think they're going to get one, though. So I don't know, maybe re-sign Jahan Dotson.
Oh, my God.
Or Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson is the new offensive.
Jahan Dotson's not signing here. Did you hear him praising QB1, though? Says the best leader he's ever been around.
Okay. Uh-huh. I bet he is a good leader. I have no problem with that.
I don't know. I'm not in the room.
I'm talking about throwing the ball, though. What's that got to do with – hey, isn't it funny? Every time you hear somebody praise somebody, you never hear this. This guy's one of the most skilled and gifted players I've ever seen. When you talk about Jaelan, you go like this. You talk about a guy who commands the room, is really, really one of the best I've ever been around. I never hear this. This fucker throws on time. He's spectacular in the pocket. I never hear any of that.
Well, that's okay. Because only the greatest have both. The Mahomeses and the Bradys of the world, the Montana.
And the Darnolds.
No, and the rest don't have both.
Okay.
Josh Allen's got great talent. Guy makes more mistakes than a toddler. I mean, it gives me
more is asked to him.
I don't give a shit what's asked to you. You're the quarterback of the team. If you're going to turn the ball over and over again, you're not going to win the games.
I didn't say he played well in that game, but don't look at every quarterback has the different requirements on how to win a game. Hurts doesn't have to be spectacular ever in a game for them to win. He's proven that in playoff games.
Tom Brady didn't have to be spectacular earlier in his career.
Okay.
Neither did Mahomes. Mahomes played like holy dog.
Brady evolved as he got older. So you're assuming then, or I don't know, maybe you aren't. Brady got better and evolved as he got older. You think Hurts is going to evolve and get better?
I don't think because of the dual threat. Now, maybe that's what he's trying to do with passing. I don't think you've seen enough substantial evidence to think that that's going to change. But, I'm just saying, I don't think it's a perfect comp. I mean, most other quarterbacks don't have both. So Jaelan doesn't have the perfect arm at the timing throws, but he does give you the intangibles that you need to lead a team and to get to the Super Bowl and to do those things. So there's still value on that. Maybe it's not as valuable to you, but there is a value on that.
There is. I think there's a huge value on that. All right, before Garry Cobb gets in and we read some supers, please hit the like button. I've landed on Kayden Proctor at 23. Who'd you landed on?
I like Kayden Proctor. I'm good with that.
I'll tell you what, I'm not as impressed with that tight end as everyone else is in Oregon.
Oh, I like the second tight end better.
Oh, okay.
Eli Stowers or whatever. I like Sadiq. But I mean, dude,
I'll take him in the second round.
How many college yards has Sadiq had in his career? I don't even think it's 1,000.
No. And he had drops this last year.
Let me look that up. Kenya, that's my problem with him.
And they're comparing him to Harold Fanning. He's no blocker. Now Fanning's good,
dude. He had 560 yards in 25 and 308 in 24.
Yeah, dude,
this guy's got 868 career receiving yards in college. He's going to be a first-round tight end.
No,
I mean, wait, who are the other first-round tight? Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren.
Yeah, those guys were great.
What did those guys produce?
Loveland, I don't think, because he was in a run-first offense. Remember something? Oregon,
but he still had 1,500 yards in his college career.
Remember something too. This kid's in a passing offense in Oregon, right?
Well, kind of. Yeah, they had that Dante Moore quarterback.
He's coming back too.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him.
But he goes in the first round.
Tyler Warren had 1,800 yards in college.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I'm not saying Sadiq's not a good player, but to be a slam dunk one to me with 500 yards last year is not. I don't know. I mean,
have you landed on anybody yet? By the way, those Ohio State guys were off they were running 4.46s at 6'4.5", 250 pounds. Bro,
that's crazy, man.
I've never seen anything like that.
Dude, you know who I like, but it's never happening for the Eagles, but that Sonny Styles linebacker at Ohio State. Holy fuck, that kid looks like he's got
every time he was up for a drill, I watched it.
I know.
He looks just unbelievable, man. He's one of the most impressive. By the way, his tape matches it too. He's not one of these guys where, you go to a combine and his tape doesn't match it. His tape matches it. He's a special guy, man.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean,
who do you think you landed on 20? Right now, you don't have to be committed to it. But
probably a tackle. I could see Proctor. I could see that Clemson kid. I could see the what's that kid there everybody's raving about right now after the combine? What's the kid who had the amazing athletic score, the Georgia kid?
Monroe Freeling.
Yeah, Monroe Freeling. I could see that. I think a tackle still makes sense at 1, but it is a luxury pick, man. We'll see.
It's still going to dictate on what happens with AJ, right?
So you think if they trade AJ, they draft a wideout?
No.
I don't either.
Because I don't think there's enough of them down there.
I think, John laughed at me when I brought up Mike Evans. Now it's being reported that he's they actually might have interest. So
yeah, I know.
I'm going to have to bring that one back up tomorrow.
Listen, I already know that he had
because you told me that. That's where I got the topic. And I brought
Derek Gilmore.
John hit me with the no. Stop the topic before you even start,
Well, they spoke Wednesday night.
Yeah, rumor is he likes Jalen Hurts.
Rumor is he likes winning right now because he's got his ring.
Rumor is he likes Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts will either have the type of year that makes his haters lose their mind and cement himself as a Philly legend, or he will start the end of his career in Philly this year. It feels like there's no in between on Jalen Hurts this year.
Sounds like the same for Nick.
Yeah, agreed.
Jalen Hurts is going to go down as one of the greatest cabooses in life.
Oh, bullshit, dude. He's already one of the greatest Eagles.
Or he's going to go down like Troy Aikman.
Who's your Eagles quarterback, Mount Rushmore? Well, here comes Sills. He's going to pull out the 40s and the 50s. Watch.
I don't know anybody in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, you do. Fucking, who's the guy that won the Super Bowl in the 40s and the 50s? What was his name? I'm blanking on it right now.
Who, Sonny Jurgensen?
Yeah.
That's the 60s, but no.
60. No, somebody won in the 40, 49. Norm Van Brocklin.
Oh, not that guy.
And then Tommy Thompson won in 49 and at 48 and 49.
Tommy Thompson. Okay, yeah. No, but I don't really look at players who folded their helmets up and put them in their back pocket and go like this. You know, I mean, what we're talking. If I were to pick the best.
So give me your Mount Rushmore of Eagle quarterback.
As much as I hate it, I'd go McNabb 1.
McNabb's definitely, one, I guess, probably.
I'd go Randall 2. I would go Hurts 3. And I would go Jaworski probably 4th.
I don't think you can leave off Jaws.
So I put those 4 guys. I don't think Vic played long enough.
No, he didn't. And I like Vic. He's not a.
Yeah, but I would those would be the guys. Let me tell you something. If Cunningham played in today's NFL,
Bubby Brister's a good one.
Bubby Brister and Hurts have a lot in common.
I'm with Pump. Does Foles deserve a mark on there?
Foles was too up and down.
Oh, wait a second. I'm not looking at your body of work. If I do that, I'll talk about Donovan McNabb. I'm talking about one moment, one opportunity, like Miracle. Okay? You play them 10 times, they might win 9, but not this game. And Nick Foles delivers the city of Philadelphia its first Super Bowl in history. And by the way, we might not have another Super Bowl if it wasn't for that first one.
Oh, man. Dude, he had a moment in time.
He broke that moment in time is the biggest in the history, maybe in Philadelphia sports.
That's not a career.
The 70s were massive, obviously. The Phillies were, when they won the World Series 08 and when they won earlier.
That's it right there, man. Jalen Hurts is the modern day version of Bubby Brister.
I think Jalen is arguably number 1.
How about this?
I don't get how you can laugh at that.
Let me ask you this.
Because talent is not.
So in the year that you won the 17
talented quarterbacks, that's a different conversation.
Let me ask you this. Let's go to this. And I think this is a good little.
Jalen is the most accomplished quarterback of any Eagle quarterback in history.
That's like telling me that Bob Greasy is better than Dan Marino because he's more accomplished.
Well, it's a fair pushback, but the reality is this is our Eagles history. I think when you have as few wins as you do, Super Bowls and things as you do, the guy who was able to get it done deserves a big deal of credit.
Okay.
And by the way, he played damn fucking good in those games for all the people shitting on him.
Okay, here. So that 2017 Super Bowl team, how do you think Jalen Hurts would have performed with these guys? Let's see here. Zach Ertz.
What a stupid comp.
Alshon Jeffrey. Nelson Aguilar.
Pretty good. Offensive line was beast. Running backs were great. Receivers were great.
Torrey Smith.
Dude, Torrey Smith had a hell of a season that year.
Whoa, wait a minute. Name me 2 players on the current team, Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, that any of those guys on 17 were better than.
That's not the question. I mean,
it is the question.
Well, they were a good team. They weren't as talented as the Eagles team, but I think Jalen would have been good with them. I mean,
you think the team that won the Super Bowl at Garrett Blount was better than Barkley?
No, but that collection of the three of them, you could argue, was as good. That was a fun, dude. That was a good group. And by the way, it's a team game. Corey Clement makes an insane catch in the back of the end zone. Makes Foles look better.
So
I mean, come on, man.
No. I'm not dismissing these dudes. I'm just making comparisons to these dudes. Corey Clement, Jay Ajayi, Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey, LeGarrette Blount, Zach Ertz versus Goddard, Brown, Smith, Barkley. I don't see the comparison.
Dude, I think you're a little off your rocker. I mean,
really?
Not off your rocker completely, but that team wasn't a bunch of stiffs, dude. That was a good ass running game. Alshon Jeffrey had a hell of a year that year.
At 780 yards.
Catching passes like crazy. Nelson Aguilar was contributing to the Super Bowl team. I mean, Zach Ertz. I mean, come on, man. I think
Nelson Aguilar had 57 catches for 780 yards, and Alshon Jeffrey had 62 catches for 700 yards. Torrey Smith had 30 catches for 430 yards. They didn't have one wide receiver or tight end over $1,000 in that Super Bowl, and it was the play of the two quarterbacks that delivered the Super Bowl. It was Wentz and Foles that were the catalyst in winning that Super Bowl. The quarterbacks carried that team, along with the O-line and D-line.
Well, that's why Nick Foles deserves to potentially be on the Mount Rushmore. But I don't think Jaelan would have been
I don't think
that. I criticize Jaelan often. I'm not somebody that's proven to be a truther to the point where I'm in denial. Jaelan deserves a little bit more credit than you're giving.
That 17 team doesn't come nowhere near the talent offensively that the talent you had in 24. There won't be one guy to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a skilled player from that team.
There won't be for the Eagles either in 25.
I was told that Barkley was going, and I was told that Hurts is on his way.
Barkley's had an 8-year career. He's got 1 year where he was a Hall of Fame caliber.
I completely agree with you.
So I don't think he's going. I don't think AJ's going. Smitty's not on pace at this point. Goddard's certainly not going. Jaelan might be the one to go.
Okay. So then you think the current talent on the team is overrated? How about this? I'll take that back. Overhyped?
Overrated? No.
I'll take it back. Overhyped then? Because if you're comparing them that 17 team and you're comparing guys like AJ,
what's better, having a good team or having a Hall of Fame player?
I'm talking about the comparisons.
You're comparing the talent.
Do you think the 17 team is as talented as the 24 team? Yes or no?
No, I do not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. That's all. I mean.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think they were as talented.
Do you think the quarterback play in 2000?
I think they were as good of a team, though.
Do you think the quarterback play in 2017 was better than the quarterback play in 24?
Yes.
Okay.
Carson Wentz was insane that year.
He was. Yeah, and the other guy picked up the
mail. Remember, Foles kind of stunk until the NFC Championship game. Or no, was it the plot? Was it earlier?
I don't think he had the last like the Giant game, and then he got Atlanta?
The Giant game. It might have been the last 3 games where he turned it on. There was a turning point when Foles turned it on.
Didn't he ever? Was it Atlanta you played?
I think so. Yeah.
It was Atlanta, right? That was was that the NFC Championship game, Atlanta?
No, the NFC. No, it was Minnesota.
Minnesota, that's right. The miracle in Minnesota because they beat the Saints.
They beat the ever living piss out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was like 37-7, wasn't it? 38.
The quarterback was it Case Keenum or somebody? Somebody got hurt in that game or before that game, and it was like Case Keenum.
38-7, we beat the Vikings.
Hey, shit. Can we send that?
Case Keenum. Nick Foles was 26 for 33 for 352 and 3 tutties in that game. Nicky Foles, are you sure he's not a Mount Rushmore kind of guy, Sills?
Hey, did you send Gary the link, right? No. He said he's a little delayed. Let's read some of these supers before he gets in here. I didn't even look at the time.
Me neither. Here's Walkout. What's up, Walkout? Dan, regarding the money, you made a great point a few months ago. It won't be long before the networks will have to regularly compete with Netflix and the like weekly. It's very true. Money could get crazy.
Could you see in the next 10 years that salary cap being over 500 million?
Oh, yeah. What's it, 301 now this year? It went
301.2.
301.2, up from 280. That'd be a bit. Yeah, I mean, that's about 20 million a year.
Well, Zander, I told you in 2021, the cap was 198.2. Now it's 301. It's just in a matter of like 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's gone up that much.
I think in probably 8 years it'll be 500 million.
Man, 500. You're talking about $100 million a year player.
Man, that's crazy.
Hey, the first year they had the salary cap. You ready for this? The salary cap was $34 million.
It's amazing. It's crazy what's happening.
AJ makes 31 now.
Let's get to a couple more. DC Mike says, you said the Cowboys were 50 million over the cap. Does that include the 30 million they carried over from last year and the 66 million they just cleared?
The Cowboys right now are 56.133. Let me refresh it there just to double check. Yeah, actually, the Cowboys right now have the most money over the cap. They're 56.1. They still got restructuring to do with Quinnen Williams and also with Clark. And with, I would think they still got, probably they're going to do Dak.
Dude, you got some doomers in this chat now. You've created a bunch of doomers. Look at this guy.
Not me.
Nick says, Goddard wants out. AJ wants out. QB can't throw on time. The O-line is old. It's over. The little window we had is closed. Tell AJ to see a therapist. I mean, that's what you got the fans saying right now. Here's Corporate Pumper.
It's a little porthole right now. A little tiny porthole.
Here's Pumper. I agree, fellas. We need to trade Jalen Hurts for the betterment of the team. Additional by subtraction. B Pumper guarantees no book clubs next season. Oh, come on, Pump.
I'm not trading Jalen Hurts.
Here's Prince. Sills is not allowed to touch the grill, or does he know anything about cars? Sills, your man card is under review, my friend. Mr. Just Eat.
Yes. The only thing I know how to operate right now is a fork.
Don't let Prince shit on you. Here's Pump. Sills, you better take back that Project 89 slander. Y'all see the run game without Johnny's elite blocking ability? Praise Johnny.
Johnny Wilson. Holy shit, man.
Here's Suo. I want Thunderman. He's going to be an elite set. He is. He's
a good player.
He's a good player. Yeah. All right, Sills. Good show, man. I appreciate it.
Make sure you open your show tomorrow with AJ Brown with big old John.
Wow.
He loves that topic, boy.
I got it. There's more news on it.
I think there will be.
I mean, we're going to start with Goddard probably. With that.
Yeah, Goddard. Now Goddard wants out. Damn.
I kind of knew
What's going on here? How come everybody wants to leave the greatness of the Mount Rushmore?
Wait, look at this guy. Stay focused. Did you just wake up from a year-long nap? He says these dudes are dramatic. Have you ever watched the National Football Show?
Dramatic.
You're just determined that Sileo is dramatic, man. I don't know how to.
Yeah, that's a new. Hey, what an epiphany, guy.
Yeah. All right, Sills. Appreciate you, man.
Bro, I'll see you in the morning, man.
Later, dude.
You got it.